Okay, there it goes, yeah. Damn, don't know what to watch. Let's look at Zepla.
FXV discussion, I thought it was a really good thing to talk about because we have a lot of new players hanging out in the chat. And there's some questions here common to new players. New players often face these kinds of worries and concerns. Suggestions for not being lost when starting a new job. I don't mean how to level a new job. I have seen threads about that and kind of understand the ways I can get XP. I wanted to try Dancer or Reaper. Good choices. Excellent choices. These are my two mains, so I love this guy already, or girl. You're awesome. I unlocked them.
Hold on, no. Do this as well. Just look at my chat as well.
Try Dancer or Reaper. Good choices. Excellent choices.
Okay, yeah, no, I just want the live chat. Pop out chat, there it goes. Alright, cool. Now I want live chat, there it goes. Okay, cool. Alright, now okay, alright, cool.
And realized I now have 20 to 30 new skills and gauges and meters I have no idea anything about. I think Dancer is an example of a job that might be particularly overwhelming in a degree that is extreme compared to how simple the job actually is to play, because there are so many prompts.
Oh wait, hold on, I need to take off my spider and shit.
Procking off of other skills, like
let me take that off. Actually, you know what? I'm taking off my shirt too. You know what? I'm taking it off. It's that type of stream. I'm taking off both. Oh shit. Oh shit. Ugh. I can breathe. I can breathe. Yeah. I can breathe. Oh. Hold up. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Okay. But yeah, guys, it's been a while. I've been doing a lot of stuff. I've been programming. I've been making my own website. Oh shit. I also started taking some classes as well, and I've just been on the roll since lately. That's what I've been doing. God damn it. Why my whole body itches? Fuck. One thing I really want to do is finish fucking New World. Get to fucking 60. You don't make this like any easier. It's hard as shit. Getting to 60. Like getting to 60 is like the hardest thing ever. I don't know why. It just is. In any other game, getting to 60 is just dog shit hard in this game. You have to grind so much. I want to get there. Ugh. Once I get to 60, make a whole video about the game. I kind of got the direction I kind of want. I want to. Shit.
You get a proc that procs.
Shit. I want to basically make videos about the fun factor in this game. What is the fun factor? Right? And give people, I guess, just to tell people what's worth it in the game itself. Let me actually get a notebook out too. I could just do that while I'm streaming. Pen. Where's all my notebooks? Where are they gone? Where's all my notebooks? I had so many here, but now I don't know. I don't know what happened to them. It's somewhere. Just not here. Okay. Well, that means I have to get another notebook. What the fuck going on here? Please, pen. Pen, please. You're fucking joking. Okay. Alright, get another pen. Get another pen. This should be okay. Yeah, there it goes. It is okay. I lost my bookmark. Alright. Well, fuck. Here's the notebook. Been spending all fucking day looking for it. Alright. Got my notebook. My handy dandy notebook. Alright, I don't know what these numbers are. I don't know what all this stuff is. Okay. So, as I'm approaching to level 60, New World. Fun factor. I need to come up with a different name for fun factor. Alright. What the fuck? Wait, what? Is the floor just water right now? What the fuck is going on? Oh no, that's the... Oh, that's the river here. That's the river. Damn, this is so fucked. Song in your step. Can I join you on this? Oh, I can't. Okay, I can't join you on that. That's neat.
Another prop, which props another prop, which could prop another. And like, good luck sorting all that out without watching a guide. I had to watch several guides to put all the pieces together. And even then, even after you get past that initial level of understanding what procs are procking which other procs, which proc what the other procs, then you have to learn about, well, maybe you shouldn't use your feathers all the time. Constantly pull feathers in general. I have a video here of me pulling, like, juggling all the different procs that I get. That might be helpful for a new player to just sort of visualize better. Okay, so basically...
Hold up, what the fuck is going on with this game? Is just me? It was not like this before. Is it just catching up? It's catching up. What the fuck? What is going on? No, the game must be catching up because... Hold on. Let me go to my settings. Video. Yeah, everything... Okay, let me just put on high. I don't know. It's just not doing well. This is kind of... I don't... This is so fucked. Is it just stuck like this? Oh, I need to kill that thing. What the fuck is actually going on? I never had this problem beforehand. What the fuck? What is going on? I never had this problem beforehand. Oh my god, this is fucking annoying. Holy shit. Can I not stream this normally? Can I not do that? It's... Like, there it goes. My skin is here. It's just the game... What is going on? Why did it take you this long? Why did it take you this long to do it? Holy shit. It shouldn't take you that long. Oh fuck. Alright. Let's watch this video.
This is footage of me playing Dancer when I was new at playing Dancer and getting all my props.
Oh,
so,
well.
I hope this like just helps give an idea of how it is to have 1,000 procs at the same time and just sorting through it in the most efficient way possible. So with that said, I now have combos that I didn't have as a healer and all kinds of things on my hotbars that I have no idea when to use them. I understand. I can read the descriptions. Okay, that's good. But there is a reason when you start at level 1, they only give you limited skills and then add them over time. So yeah, this person is reading the descriptions, reading the tooltips, and trying to piece it together, and it's confusing, it's overwhelming, and I think I do see why. It makes sense. Maybe I'm a simpleton, but in WoW I have never played Death Knight because starting at the 50th level felt weird. But even there, they ran you through a tutorial where you went out open world, so to speak. Yeah, you do have the Death Knight starter zone, which I guess does help you try out stuff a little bit better.
Yeah. I would say that when it comes to games, especially MMOs. The biggest things when you're introducing a new class is to show
how to play that class. And that's something that I think Final Fantasy is going to have a problem soon, because most of these classes... What's up with things not loading? Come on now. This is so fucking bad. And the map doesn't... The map always does that. In Final Fantasy 14, when it comes to the jobs, these jobs, they can be very complicated. It doesn't... Really, no one knows how it like really should be played in terms of like the developer's point of view. People just make something out of something. But the basic fighting, or the basic cycle, or well, not really the cycle, but the rotation of any class would be best be displayed in like story missions, and that can be very difficult when you're having so many classes, and it will be the same thing over and over and over again. But at least in the base form, or like the base mission where you introduce that class, let's say dancer, you get at level 60, right? So at level 60, it teaches you how to be a dancer. After it teaches you how to be a dancer, you have to figure out the other stuff on your own. And you know, that's pretty much fair. I mentioned this before in like the podcast we were doing with the Zero, where what they should have is a beginner class guide, intermediate class guide, and an advanced class guide. The intermediate and the advanced, I could see them putting that online on their website. The reason why I say that is because there's a lot of stuff in the game already, and I seriously doubt everybody's going to look through it. It's like, well, I just want to figure out how the class works for me, and that's fair. You can go and figure out how the class works for you. Like, my main is a monk, and I still can't pull off things that's right, because I'm forgetting to proc something or to use something. So yeah, you can read the description just fine, but it's not really about reading the description. It's about, well, I mean, it's actually is part of it. I'm sorry. Reading the description is part of it, right? But I don't think that's the biggest thing. The biggest thing is experience. So you just have to just experience the game and see like what is used for where. Like, you can watch a whole entire guide of how to play your class, but you won't actually understand it until you see the results on your screen. And that comes with anything too. You have to you have to see the results for yourself in order to understand the game, or understand the job rather.
And it's sort of like having that initial zone eases you into the gameplay better for sure. But then again, I mean, Frost DK is what I usually play in WoW, and I don't remember it being very complicated. I think I actually only had one button or two buttons. Let me check. You use Remorseless Winter on cooldown, Howling Blast with the proc, Obliterate, Frost Strike to dump your runic power. That's it. Okay, so it's 3 buttons, not 2. My bad. So then you go from that to Dancer, which is like, assuming you're using the same website, which you probably are. You don't have a set rotation. Okay, you're gonna get a 50% chance of getting this one or this anytime you use this or this. Then you have all these different other parts of the rotation, the different steps that are immovable in the placement and the parts that they have in the rotation, and where they're gonna come up depends on how your opener is. And remember that you need to learn how to do your opener correctly. so that way everything else is going to line up properly in the course of the rotation, and it will line up with other people's buffs in the party. And Esprit is going to be generated every time that you use a combo action, and you need to use your Esprit to cast Saber Dance, and the Fourfold Feathers is a chance to proc from this proc, or from this button or this button, and then that Fourfold Feathers can actually proc another proc called Fan Dance 3, and so you need to use your Fan Dances to proc another proc, but you don't need to use all your feathers.
Okay, alright. I think she's making it very complicated than it actually is. And that's, that's the point of content creating. Like, honestly, I think all classes have a difficulty to a degree. Yes, all of this is information in one class, but each class have their own amount of information. Like, I can talk to you all day about Monk, how their class is intricate, right? But I can also talk to you about possibly Black Mage and how their class is very intricate. Why? Well, I mean, I can kind of talk about it, of course. I mean, I'm not a Black Mage, mate, but like, so I mean to say is that yes, this class for sure, Dancer is an intricate class, but she's looking at it at a like level 90 level. But instead, what everybody else should be looking at it as, okay, what do I do at level 60, right? Or like when I first get the class, what's all the skills here, right? And every time you get a new skill, you see like where does it replace any skills, or when you have a new skill, you have to see like does it replace any new skills, or does it support any other skills? If so, then how should I weave it in? Because if you like think about it, it's not as bad. I guess if you think about it as like a raider, it's not as bad. Because you have to worry about your gauge, right? But you don't have to like actually like really manage it because it's just random. Okay, and so at a random point you need to use something. You never want to have your gauge up to full, so you're always going to be doing something. Always do something, right? And in terms of buffs, and she said alignment buffs. The alignment buffs, each class or each job have a skill that allows them to give everybody a buff. Let's say each class have a 120-second timer, which is true. Everybody have a 120-second timer if you don't have support. I mean, like Black Mage, they don't have a timer. They don't have. Well, I mean, they do have timers, but they don't have like a buff that can buff everyone because they're more selfish. So you don't have to worry about that. But you have Monk, you have Dragoon, you have Red Mage, like all these other classes that can buff other people. They have something that can primarily buff somebody that's under a timer's 120 seconds. And so the big three is either 120 seconds, 90 seconds, or 60 seconds, right? And there's always a place order where to pop it. Right, in terms of rotation, where should you pop it? Usually, if something has 120 seconds, you're gonna pop it at the fives. Let's say each GCD or global cooldown is 2 seconds, right? So 3 global cooldowns is 6 seconds. So at the 6 second mark, after that, you should be popping your 120-second cooldown. That will buff everybody. And that's what she means about that, right? So I think the best thing to do is not really. The best thing to do is to understand what are the time intervals are, or what, like if we're thinking about a raider's point of view, think about what is generally should be popped first in terms of like buffs, right? If you can align those buffs where everybody else have it, right? Then you can kind of follow along with the class, with the job itself, with the rotation, like where is my free time where I can actually pop this. Each class have this, like even healers have this, right? Also tanks have this too. In terms of their cool, in terms of their negating certain things. Like for example, their what you call it? Each tank have an invuln stance, right? Or like they can take an invuln. Sorry, that still doesn't make any sense. Each tank can click a button to say I'm invulnerable for like 10 seconds or something like that. Each tank has something like that. And so Dark Knight, you have Living Dead, Paladin, you have Hollow Ground, so on and so forth. Each person have this. So you look at that and say, well, you don't want two tanks to pop at the same time. You want to do it interchangeably, right? Because so you can keep up the aggro, or keep up with taking the hate from the boss. DPS is more of, I need to make sure my buffs align with everyone else at their highest points. And usually everyone's highest points is the first like 6 seconds or first 5 seconds. It really depends. So understanding that, how your buffs work, I think is really good. Once you finish your buffs, once you actually understand all your buffs, then you start looking at your rotations. Okay, well, where in my rotation is like the biggest peak? And yeah, that takes some like getting used to. You need to like talk to a whole bunch of people and whatnot. You can talk to people, or you can like just goddamn. You can talk to people or just read a whole bunch of stuff. Either or. Oh my god. I think she's making it very complicated than it needs to be. Regardless, I think there are classes that are complicated. Surely Dancer can be complicated. Astrologian was a little bit complicated. It still is. But everyone just need to realize that, hey, like, not everyone is not everyone just reached that level 90 yet. Everyone is still at level 60. Work on level 60 and then just play around with that. So it was the same thing with the with Reaper. I started looking at it, I started playing around with it, and I was like, oh shit. You know, when I looked at it first, it looks very complicated, but after you play a while, you play with it a while, you play around with it, you're like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Oh shit, we're taking things back. God damn. They're on that shit. Alright, let's keep going.
At the same time, because you actually need to pull your feathers and have at least 3 feathers whenever you go into your burst phase, which ideally it's going to be lined up with the other burst cooldowns that the party has, so that way you don't waste your burst, because as a dancer, actually, your damage is really reliant on everybody lining up their buffs in the party, so for you as a buffer, it's really important that you keep track of all that shit. And so... so you can see how that would be. You know, going to that from literally 4 buttons. Literally 4 buttons. Could be a bit jarring, right? Even though, in practice,
God damn,
really
this
simple.
guy is annoying.
It's one of these.
Oh, he's playing. This is my plug walk. Oh, I get it. And he's like walking over me. Oh
Explaining
shit. That guy.
makes it sound like a galaxy brain job, but when you actually do it and it clicks for you, it's not bad at all. It's really not bad at all. But I think for a new player, and that's the whole point of this post, it can be overwhelming, especially if you're coming from a game that has less buttons than.
Okay. For a new player, I would partially agree that it is overwhelming. But like, I'm sure they're like, they're talking about WoW at first, right? So they're going to be trying to just play this class as if it was the highest level. They're at the highest peak or highest level, because really when you deal with WoW, you do like the way you think about your openers or your rotations and whatnot. You're thinking about rotations at when you're in like the highest peak, or when you can't level no more, right? I think the highest level there is 60 in WoW, so like they're level 60 in WoW. So all the skills you get up to that point is you get new skills as you get up to that point. Well, actually, no, not really, because you get up to a Death Knight is you're 50, you go to 60. Okay, my point is, this class dancer opens at 60. Yeah, so they unlocked them, and they now have like 20 and 30 skills and gauges and meters and all that crap, right? I know this is for sure for Reaper, if you play the class quest, they will teach you how to play the class. For Reaper, because I went into Reaper not knowing how to play it. The class quest was super good for Reaper. I was like, oh shit. Oh, okay, so that's what this meter's for. They literally tell you how to play Reaper. Yeah, you have all these skills, but like, it's not like that. It's not that bad. It's a little bit daunting having 20, 30 skills you have to manage for, right? But if you read the skills, and she said, and they said they are reading it. Gosh, this is like a weird post. Because if you're reading it, it tells you, oh, this is your 1, 2, 3 combo, right? Well, actually, hold on. Not a lot of people know about the combo. You really find what is my 1, 2, 3 combo, or what are my 1, 2, 3 combos. Once you get your 1, 2, 3 combos, you put it on your main bar. You see, okay, what are my buffs, right? Or what is my Super Saiyan stance, or shit, or when do I pop off, type of thing, which is your buffs. Did I not? Oh, I never visit that. Shit. Okay.
than you have fantasy. So I do think that it would help a lot to have some kind of system where you can test out all of your abilities in a more normal way. Sometimes people will say, oh, but you can go into Palace of the Dead at low level and you can test out all of your abilities up to level 60. But Palace of the Dead is a really shitty place to practice.
It is really a shitty place.
Like it's an insanely bad suggestion.
Yeah.
To do that, really, because
look,
I spend almost all my time in Palace of the Dead. If
you have something for that. It's called training dummies. Not the actual training dummies, but the wind. What was it called? Wind, sea, and fire, or some shit like that. You have that. Like you can. Now I'm thinking about it, you have that. You can go into the wind, sea, shit thing. And you can try, even though you're timed for it, right? I guess that's the only low part, is that you're timed for it. You're timed to do whatever you fucking want, right? And if you like don't experience your buffs or anything like that, or you don't like have your buffs anymore, you want to recast them, you can just exit by like talking to a little man there. Exit, then go back in it again, and everything resets. So we do have something like that. I mean, not a lot. I guess not a lot of people use it, or not a lot of people know about it. But I thought I can get up here. God damn it! I thought I can get up here. Fuck. Damn it! All right, time to go around. Shit. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, no, I have to go to that river. Alright, that's fine. But we have something like that. It's not really all that bad.
going in there at a low level, things are gonna die way faster than you can even get through anything resembling a normal rotation. You would, I guess, just need to go to a training dummy, but it's not really encouraged to do that. And even if you went to a training dummy, it doesn't necessarily mean that you would know the correct order to put skills in. So it also feels like, with the example that they gave of Death Knight and WoW, having that starter zone, it feels more like learning the job is a seamless part of playing it. It feels like having to go all the way to a...
Okay, I think... Was you about to say training dummy?
Training dummy to test out your abilities and go through your rotation. Like, that feels kind of lame when it might be more fun if they could incorporate that learning process into gameplay better. Because...
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. The training dummy, that's not ideal. But if you want to like reset your skills and all that, I think, that's great. But they have something like that. It's called class quests. I'm not too sure about Dancer class quest, but for the Reaper class quest, they really teach you how to play your Reaper when you're in the class quest. Instead of like a whole area, you get a whole instance to yourself, right? And you have to kill a certain thing. And after you kill that thing, they just let you know, like, yeah, so that's how you play your class. Congratulations, you can now go through the rest of the world knowing how to play Reaper. Like, the whole class quest system is really good if y'all think about it. We have something like that. We can incorporate it. The problem is that no one really does them. Because honestly, what do you get from them? I don't think you get like skills anymore from them. Well, no. You do get skills. You get at the very last quest. You get a skill from them, so you have to go through them. But yeah, I would say class quests. That's it. If you do the class quest, you'd be okay. It's not that hard. Like honestly, the most complicated class I've worked on was, or job I worked on was Sage. And after doing the class quest, I did skip a few times, like through story, because people would just talk over and over again. But I saw what makes it tick, or what makes it like a good class, or how to play the class. What makes it unique? There it goes. What makes it unique? I saw that. I was like, oh, okay, that's how you play this class. And then I throw in like, well, I know how to play healer. So what the fuck? He tried to kick me. Rude as fuck. Imagine you're playing an instrument, and fucking rude dudes roll up on you and fucking wreck your shit. That'd be so fucked up. It's like, no, I'm playing music. Get out of here. Imagine that. Imagine.
Because a lot of the main story quest is cutscenes and talking and story dungeons and trials that are an okay place to test out your stuff, but not that reliable. So I don't know. I think like a dancer school, Hall of the Intermediate, basically something I ask for all the time. Different like school, like job school for that would like maybe teach you the basics of how your job should work. I think.
Okay, basics of the class. I feel like Zeppela should know this. I mean, I think she probably does know this, but it's not acceptable for every class. Class quests are the basics of the basics. Your first 10, I don't think it's 10 quests, but like the first 4 quests of your job is the basics of the class. I agree, we need an intermediate level of that. An intermediate level would be at I want to say intermediate, like maybe at max level, possibly. Craft the bee smoker recipe at your camp. Oh, I need to craft it here. Wait, what? I need reeds? What the fuck? Wait, no. These reeds? Oh, yeah, these are reeds. Okay. But I agree. Intermediate, advanced. And I imagine that they are... I need 5 of them. I imagine that they are managed by the players. Like, we already have an advanced form. It's called the balance. But it's not, like, in the game within itself. And I feel like it shouldn't be in the game, honestly. Like, the advanced form shouldn't be in the game. But intermediate, it should be in the game. Like, the very... You know what? I have an idea. I don't think that it takes that much effort. Maybe it takes like each class quest. How about this? Remember, we have like those. We have like class quests or job quests at the very end of like of each expansion, and you have to go through them depending on your role. So it's like it's a role quest instead. It's a role quest. So the role quest would assume your class. Like you have an instance, right? Let's say you got all your skills. You have an instance, and depending on damn, I need flint. Fuck. Damn. Nope. Get that. But depending on your quest, or depending on your job in the role quest, it would teach you, your teacher, I guess, for the role would tell you how to play your class. Like, for example, let's say that you're a red mage. I know how to play monk, so let me go ahead and talk about monk. Okay. You have a trainer, a role class trainer, and he's a tank, along with the healer, right? The tank and the healer knows about your class, but don't play the class because they're rolling. They're tank, right? Healer and tank. So they go around. You help them defeat a boss, whatnot, and it's a difficult boss. And you tell them, and they tell you how to really play your class. How to really play your class. Let's say we're trying to defeat like some fey creature, right, or some fiend, and then they said, okay, remember your studies about your main rotation, boot shine, this and that and this, right? And you start doing it. You start playing around, and within the first 5 seconds, they said, "Oh, we probably need more juice. We probably need more power, or something like that." So remember, if you have, if you have some type of buff or something like that, like if you have some type of buff, just go ahead and pop them now. And they tell you that Brotherhood, they not only gives you more. God damn, dude. Shit. God damn. These guys went at it. Oh, he got fucking caught. Is he trying to snipe him? Bro, I'm about to say, if he tried to snipe him, he had no fucking honor. Oh shit. Oh, damn, that's... Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck, that's crazy. That was fucking crazy. Okay, going back here now, right? Okay. But yeah, that's something you want to do. You want to just, fuck, what the hell I was saying? I got sidetracked. This always happens. Right. The level 60 final boss thing, or the max level final boss thing, and your trainers are telling you how to play your class. The trainers. Let me actually write this down because this is actually a really nice idea. So your trainers will tell you not only the basics, or tell you at first the basics, right? Like if you want to to kill this fey creature, maximize your 3-button rotation or some type of rotation, right? For monk, I'm saying 3-button rotation, and this is very different between. This is very different between what you call it, between like Dragoon, because they have their own type of buffs and all type of that. You have samurais. They don't really have buffs, so you tell them in a different way. And so when each class come along, you would tell them in different ways, using those trainers. And you would say to them like, okay, make sure to use, your Brotherhood, for like, remember to use, Brotherhood. Brotherhood can buff not only you but also your teammates. Same thing that goes with the Dragoon. Hey, remember to use Eye of the Dragon, or the right eye or some shit like that, and you make sure you put that on another person so they can get buffed as well. It can be anyone. It could be a healer. And it's an intermediate form to where like you can fuck up just okay, but it'll let you know how your class should be played, or how your class should be played in a max level in a max level area, right? But when it comes to advanced like raids and shit, you're gonna be looking it up anyways. I think that's what we should have as intermediate form. You should have a trainer that tells you how to do your job. It tells you all the buffs you have already. It tells you all the skills you have. Right? And so like and it's a scripted fight, of course, and so it can be for different people. The only thing that would be difficult is explaining certain skills. That's something that they need to fix. Square Enix or the developers need to fix in Final Fantasy XIV. Is some skills, like, for example, an admin on monk is fucking ridiculous. It's like, yeah, it basically extend your some buff you get at the second time you're a combo, but it's not all that serious. You're never going to use it, but you can tell them like, hey, your boss jump, make sure to use an admin to sustain your buffs or some shit like that. But I feel like that's a more advanced form. Okay, I can't get anything. Wait, is that it? Did I finish everything? Oh no. Okay. Shit, it's more stuff. Fuck.
I think might be nice, might be helpful to have. I was thinking about this actually because a few weeks ago, Josh Drive Hayes made a video about tutorials in games. And like, what's an example of a good tutorial? What's an example of a bad tutorial? And the good tutorials are the ones that feel like you are playing the game while you're learning. And honestly, I don't feel like hitting a training dummy. Like, I feel like that's a good way to refine your rotation and to get everything like perfect.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Really comfortable, but
I
for
agree.
learning the basics, it doesn't feel like that fun. Right? It doesn't feel like gameplay, like engaging gameplay to go to the training dummy and try to sort all that shit out. At 14, I leveled to Scholar, and now I'm an 87th level Summoner for free. I have no idea how to play. I'm the opposite. I know how to play Summoner, but Scholar, like, do not make me play Scholar. But I can queue for DPS rolls with. You're gonna be fine on Summoner, don't worry. Like,
Summoner's not
knowing
that
how
bad.
to play Scholar and not knowing how to play Summoner is a much better situation
Yeah.
than knowing how to play Summoner and not knowing how to play Scholar.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a harder time learning to play Scholar, I feel, than learning to play Summoner. Seriously. Like, whenever I did the media tour and I tested out new Summoner, it took me about 10-15 minutes to understand what the gameplay was supposed to be like, because it's very obvious, it's very straightforward what button you need to press next. Like, I don't know how you can screw up. I really don't.
Yeah, you can't really.
I don't know how you can screw up playing Summoner.
Yeah, you can't.
Like, it could not be more obvious what button you need to press
It's
next.
dog shit easy.
So when you load up a new job that doesn't start at level 1, and I have no idea what to do with hotbars full of new skills, what do you do to not be lost and confused? In general, I think it's a great question. I think it's a really good question. Just watch hours of videos, trial and error, look at other sites. I personally go straight to the Balance Discord. That's my go-to. I go to the Balance Discord and I read about the job. I go to the resources channel for the job at hand, and I read. First, I usually try to learn an opener, and then after I learn the opener, then I'll work on the rotation. I think it would be nice to have like a Hall of the Intermediate that gives job-specific like titles or job-specific glamour or rewards, or even like adventure plates that are special for your job that you can earn by doing really well in the Hall of the Intermediate. Because I feel like having more job-specific stuff besides just job-specific glamour and armor would be a nice thing to have. Because it feels like every expansion we pretty, as far as job fantasy goes, especially now that we have role quests and we don't have like the huge job quest lines like we used to have. For job fantasy, we're mostly just getting that job AF gear every expansion. But I would like to have more job-specific stuff. I believe in baptism by fire. Just queued a palace or praetorium. That's how I learned Sage.
Wait.
If I did that on
Praetorium?
Sage, I'm gonna get kicked and blacklisted.
Praetorium?
Really? Like, I will be griefing people by doing that. It's a fact.
Praetorium?
I will grief the team.
He said
trying
that?
to explain that I'm trying to do a baptism by fire for myself, guys. But the people that will be in the fire are the party, and they're not going to be getting healed. Because I do not know what my heal button is. I'm not sure if this is common practice, but I try to keep similar actions on my hotbars for each roll. Yeah, I try to do that.
Yeah.
For my tanks, I keep the tank stance action, the same hotbar position. That's really good advice, actually, for a new player. I always love playing MMOs. Leveling process is fine. Don't mind starting from level 1 at all. When I'm handed a higher level job, I really don't feel like watching hours of videos trying to remember what each skill does. Well, you don't have to watch hours of videos. Like I said, I think that the balance is fine. Here's how to do it. 1, go to a training dummy area. 2, completely clear your hotbars. 3, open your skill and traits window. 4, up. Read your first skill, place it on your hotbar, press it to see what it does. Repeat the process until you reach the last skill earned. Profit. Yeah, this is really good advice. This is the best advice. Read and do. Read and do.
Read and do.
That's pretty much it. Yep. Okay, so next video about MMO
What the hell?
tribalism and tribalism being a super big.
Alright, we're done with that. Oh shit! Getting fucked. Yeah, boy. You can't fucking cross the fuck me. There it goes. Yeah. My prime red meat. Okay. I don't know what that is. We're gonna move away from that. What are we gonna learn today? God damn. Can I just get some gaming news? Come on. Gaming. Alright, gaming news. Here it goes. Gaming news. Wait, acquisition rumors. Activision in trouble in Guild Wars 3. Let's watch him. Skillup is pretty good.
This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Stick around to the end of the video for a special offer they're making available through my channel.
Great.
Gamers, happy earnings call season. It's the week where we all have to know what terms like MAU and ROI and KFC mean. The last one means Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah, I thought so.
It's a week when financial comptrollers become divine prognosticators, all of us gazing up at them as they spout boring-ass financial jargon so that we can wait for them to stop talking and be like, look, are you going to make another F-Zero game or not? Unlike my waistline, the video games industry is contracting, and this week there was plenty of red ink spilled across the pages of big tech and publishers as they reorient themselves in this post-lockdown high-inflation era. Don't worry if you don't have time to sit through all those boring annual meetings or read those boring annual reports. I've got the top lines ready for you right here, right now. Get your calculators ready, people, because this week is all about the numbers. Here comes the news. Man, things are not going great for old mate Mark Zuckerberg. While the world unites to condemn how shit Instagram has become, and as their ad business takes a huge kick in the nuts owing to Apple's app policy changes, their metaverse business is bleeding cash faster than a knocked-over fire hydrant. Luckily, the Zuck knows just how to fix things.
Oh my god, this metaverse shit is everywhere. It's so fucking dumb. It's so dumb. Why are they trying to push this metaverse shit? I would never. I would have no clue. Ah, shit. 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 Like, why would they push this metaverse? Like, why would they push this metaverse stuff, right? First, I get it. People don't want to, like, don't want to view each other in. Maybe they don't want to do a video chat. Okay, that makes sense. All right, but you have to set up this whole entire thing of virtual reality shit. Like if they're doing if they're trying to make like a hologram of yourself possible, I think people is going to come up with the cheapest way as possible to make that shit happen, right? The metaverse is not here yet, I want to say, because things are not cheap. Like, you're going to take a whole VR system and have a meeting with the VR system? Just have a video chat. It's like right there on your computer, on your laptop. But no, we want a whole virtual system. Like, no, just have a video chat. Like, oh my god, I can't even think straight because how dumb this is. Dance in front of the bless. Oh, I have to dance? Okay, fuck. There you go. Is that good enough? Alright, cool. I literally walked all the way over here just to dance. You fucking... That's so dumb. But, yeah, metaverse. It's dumb. I understand people don't want to talk. I understand people don't want to like look at each other and shit, but it's too much work to be in a metaverse. It's too much work. Just have a video chat. It's not like all that difficult.
raising the price on the Oculus headset, or whatever it is they're calling it these days. The announcement came last week direct from Facebook HQ, which said that the standalone VR headset unit would increase in price by $100, an increase of around 25% in one fell swoop.
Oh my God.
On one level, this is a real head scratcher because the Zuck has pinned the hopes and dreams of his aging social media platform on a pivot to the metaverse, which he sees as propped up by VR, and yet at the same time, he's raising the cost of entry into that metaverse future. The flip side is that the Oculus headset is crazy successful as a product. The VR side of gaming isn't going particularly well, but social and commercial use cases are going through the roof, and the Oculus headset is easily the best on the market if you're looking for an untethered device.
I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to be the front runners, the vanguards of the metaverse. But that shit is not cheap. If people want to roll around in their, no one wants to roll around in the Oculus Rift all day. No one. Now, how can they make this better? I mean, yeah, how would they make this better? Well, shit, yeah, it's really nothing really you can do to make it better. It's like, it's just, well, shit, yeah, you can't make this better. Like, the only way you can make it better is making the prices cheaper, but you just inflated the price of Quest 2. So that just makes everything harder. If you can find out how to make the Quest cheaper in production, then possibly it's possible. It's possible. It's like so dumb. It's like the same thing with like NFTs. It's like that's not going to stay there. It's like it's not going to be a thing. It's really not.
Of course, cost of production also factors into this, which is something that Facebook themselves have pointed out. But it does feel like this is a move that Facebook feels that they can kind of get away with, given how well this hardware is selling. A stark contrast to the success of their non-hardware related VR initiatives. Another company pinning big hopes on VR is Sony, and this week they gave us some more details about the upcoming PSVR 2, which everyone is low-key certain will drop sometime next year, probably early next year. We've already seen the design and the specs, but now we know a little bit more about the user interface and features. For example, much like the Oculus headset, the PSVR 2 will support a see-through view. Using cameras mounted on the headset, you'll be able to enable a view of the outside world without having to take your headset off. It also comes with a broadcast mode, which, if you're streaming, superimposes an image of yourself playing, so long as you have the PS5 camera plugged in and pointed at you. Finally, you can also expect a cinematic mode, allowing you to play non-VR games and watch media in a simulated VR cinema. It does sound kind of dumb, but I've done it before. And it's actually pretty cool. The other hardware tidbit is that Backbone have released an official licensed mobile control adapter. So I actually have a Backbone, and I use this when I'm playing games on GeForce Now. It's actually a really fantastic controller, easily the best one I've used, and I've used a bunch of these now. The PlayStation variant doesn't have any design changes, it's just a reskin of their existing product, but it's a nice reskin because it looks all PS5-y, and I really want it, even though I have absolutely no use for it. This is intended to be used when streaming PlayStation games through either local remote play or through PS Plus cloud streaming offerings. And since we don't have any PlayStation cloud streaming here in Australia yet, this is sadly not something I need in my life. But hey, maybe you do, and yeah, I can vouch for this. This is a good product, so enjoy. Alright, so we've spoken about Sony's hardware. Let's maybe have a chat about their bottom line. It's earnings call season, where all the big video game overlords descend from on high to report just how much money they extracted from us. The last few years have been a bumper crop, as the pandemic kept people inside with nothing else to do other than binge watch Tiger King.
Alright, hold on. I'm going to be making some music now. Performance. Song selection. Wait. What? Wait. Wait. How come play My New Home Novice anywhere? How come I can't do that? Oh, I'm dumb. I have it, don't I? Coins. Potter Sprint Drum Sheet, okay. Honey and Biscuits. Honey and Biscuits upright. Okay. Ooh, flute. My New Home, there it goes. I wasn't paying attention. And where is my instruments? There it goes. Okay. 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 Alright. Let's do this. F5. My New Home. Oh boy. Okay. Ready for some god dog music? I am. Oh shit. Oh shit, that was close. Oh fuck! Shit! God damn it. There's like no bass, so I just have to like make the beat on my... I need a tempo. That'd be pretty nice if they put that in there. Great. Ah, look, it's great. Hey, tips? 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 Anyone? Tips? No? Tips? I would love the tips. I would love tips. Okay. Alright, cool. Alright, did that. Now I need to go back here again. Alright.
Right, so we've spoken about Sony's hardware. Let's maybe have a chat about their bottom line. It's earnings call season, where all the big video game overlords descend from on high to report just how much money they extracted from us. The last few years have been a bumper crop as the pandemic kept people inside with nothing else to do other than binge watch Tiger King and play Animal Crossing.
Yep.
Damn, that was a real time travel trip, wasn't it? Can you believe that was like 2.5 years ago now? My God.
Wait, really?
Anyway, the good times appear to be over for video games, or at least the heady days of outsized party time profits. Sony announced a 37% decline in Q1 profits, a 26% reduction in software unit sales, and a 16% reduction in their sales forecasts. The usual suspects were pointed to, namely supply chain issues, games delayed due to COVID, and a general decrease in demand owing to the world re-emerging from 2 years of lockdowns. Sony was not alone in this performance. Xbox 2 posted their financial results, and they paint a similar picture. Overall, Xbox performance was down 7% year on year, with hardware down 11% and software down 6%. Obviously, Xbox is facing a rough year on the software front, with 0 AAA releases this year owing to Starfield delay in 2023. But the good news is that next year should be pretty huge for Team Green, owing to the likes of Starfield and Redfall, Stalker 2, and the finalization of the Activision Blizzard deal, bringing the likes of Call of Duty, Overwatch, World of Warcraft, and...
Okay, hold on. Starfield? No. We're not gonna, like, toss that in there. Starfield is basically a worse version, like already a worse version of No Man's Sky. Let's just be honest, it's a bleaker version of it.
Candy Crush under Microsoft's unblinking eye. That Activision deal isn't looking quite as plumb as it did a few months back, as Activision Blizzard King did their earnings call this week as well, and it was very grim reading indeed. Overall profit for the business was down 28% versus the same time last year. More importantly, monthly active players fell to below 100 million for the first time since 2019. This peaked in Q1 2021 at 150 million monthly active players. So in essence, Activision Blizzard have lost a third of their customers in just 12 months. Much of this can be explained by an underperforming Call of Duty franchise, which is going strong on mobile, but Vanguard well undershot expectations, and Warzone is feeling a little long in the tooth at the moment. This is almost certain to change later this year with the release of not only Modern Warfare 2, but also an updated Warzone 2.0 experience. Activision are betting big on these ones since they've said that they won't be releasing any new Call of Duty games in 2023, but will be delivering premium Call of Duty content in its place. No word yet on what that might be. Coming back to that Microsoft acquisition, you might recall this isn't a done deal. It needs regulatory approval in a bunch of territories, and that process is happening right now. A part of that process is to seek input from other businesses in the same industry to get their perspective on how a deal like this might affect the landscape. These submissions all remain confidential, except in one territory, Brazil, who are more than happy to air the video game industry's dirty laundry for all to see. God bless them. Thanks to the Brazilians, we got hold of Sony's submission to this process, and it shows just how high in opinion Sony claims to hold of the Call of Duty franchise and the people making it. Quote, according to a 2019 study, the importance of Call of Duty to entertainment in general is indescribable. Call of Duty is so popular that it influences users' choice of console, and its community of loyal users is entrenched enough that even if a competitor had the budget to develop a similar product, it would not be able to rival it. End quote. That is a line from Sony. Gorilla sitting at the back reading that quote being like, yep, they ain't wrong. Sony would go on to describe the vast resources that Activision pours into this franchise, both in money and manpower, all to paint a picture of a franchise so entrenched that it's unlikely to ever be toppled. The subtext to all of this is Sony sowing seeds of doubt in the minds of regulators, insinuating that this franchise coming under Microsoft's purview borders on some sort of anti-competitive monopoly. But that's a bit of a tough sell coming from Sony, who for the past 3 decades have done absolutely everything in their power to lock down the best non-Nintendo output that Japan has to offer, as well as control most of the fighting game scene, not to mention recent acquisitions like Insomniac, Bungie, Bluepoint, and a lot more. That's all fine, by the way. That's just business. But for Sony to start complaining to regulators that Call of Duty might influence a person's choice of console, that's a little rich. It gets even funnier though when you read Microsoft's response to this, who actually say that Activision Blizzard's games aren't even that good when you really think about it. Now this quote is from Microsoft, mind you. You ready? Quote, specifically with respect to Activision Blizzard video games, there is nothing unique about the video games developed and published by Activision Blizzard that is a must-have for rival PC and console video game distributors that could give rise to a foreclosure concern, end quote.
Damn.
Now, I understand why, in the context of a regulatory proceeding, Microsoft might deliberately talk down Activision's games to make the whole acquisition seem less threatening. But saying that there is nothing unique about Activision games and that they're not must-have properties when you just paid $70 billion for them?
It's not because of they don't have unique games. I will say it's because they have like the famous games, or not unique, but the games. Did I spawn on top of there? That's weird. Okay. Those games they have are shit. What's another word? I'm not trying to say unique, but I'm trying to say like they're known. Like they have the known games. It's same thing with Bethesda. They have known games like you think of Fallout, you think of bro, if you think of Call of Duty, of course you think about Activision. Of course you think about Activision. When are you not thinking about Activision? You know? That's where it lies. Is this a... Oh, there's a camp. The fuck? That's a weird ass camp. Ooh. Free? 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 Free. But yeah, like Activision have known games. Because they don't have unique games, they have known games. And those known games, and you have people because you have people that want to say, "Oh, I'm gonna buy Call of Duty because it's Call of Duty. Oh, I'm gonna buy WoW because it's WoW. I'm gonna buy." This would be the same thing with the Battlefield, right? I'm gonna buy Battlefield because it's Battlefield. Like that's where my shit lies, you know. Like I said to myself, I'm gonna be playing this game. Only this game. It's not because it's unique. It's because it's known. That's all it is.
That is fucking gold, and I look forward to returning to that quote many times in the future. Hey, while we're on the topic of COD, did you guys see that Samoyed skin that Activision totally ripped off?
Oh, fuck
yeah.
yeah.
Artist Sale Lin posted his art that he did back in 2019, placed directly next to an upcoming skin in Call of Duty Vanguard. Similarities are a little striking, to say the least.
The fact, like, look at this picture. Like, the fact that they copied to the T. They didn't like hide that shit at all. They copied that shit to the T. I was like, there's no way. Like how are you gonna have this? Oh shit. How you gonna have that, man? That's so embarrassing. To be like a AAA company on Warzone for God's sake. Like Warzone? Like come on. Oh, you're a new enemy type, I think. Ooh. Yeah, I'm not moving. I'm not moving. I just didn't care. I was gonna move. Yeah, if like that's so fucking weird to me. Holy shit. I have to say it's cute. It's very, very cute. You buff people? Excuse me? That's a new thing. Fuck. That's very new. Oh shit. That's very new. I didn't know you buff people now. Oh, and that's how you get the obsidian sandpaper. Okay. They like added a lot of new stuff here. I like how they added new stuff, but they keep on changing the recipes, but it fucking annoys me. So I have to come up new ways of get different recipes. Pretty annoying. Okay, I need to go over here. All right, I'm just gonna teleport. I'm gonna go back to the city. Teleport. Yeah, that's bad. I'm surprised how like. Well, actually, no, I'm not surprised. It's like if it's not like a really known artist or whatnot, right? I feel like it's hard to figure out, oh, this person or whoever made the skin or the team that made the skin copied it from somewhere, right? What they should do, they should have a AI system. They should have a system that will take a snapshot of whoever created the skin and compare it all online in like DeviantArt, and like other creator platforms. Compare it, like put in like different filters for each things about it, you know, that can really define it. What the fuck? Tit boy. Tit boy. Tit boy. Tip boy. Yeah, I don't know. It's fucking weird.
An outright fucking plagiarism, to say the most. There is absolutely no way in hell that this skin wasn't directly ripped from this dude's art. COD developer Raven seemed to agree and have since scrubbed mention of the skin from all the game's marketing, but are yet to issue an official response or apology to the artist. Hopefully they keep skin in and pay this dude a boatload of money, but sadly I suspect that's unlikely to happen.
No.
Another acquisition to make the headlines recently was Embracer Groups, who managed to gobble up most of Square Enix's Western operations for the absolute steal of $300 million. At the time, even people who don't know shit, like myself, were like, what the fuck? That's basically giving it away for free. What's up with that? We've got a little more insight into that price tag this week from Eidos Montreal founder Stefan Dastus, which I've definitely mispronounced, I apologize, who in a wide-ranging interview with GameIndustry.biz provided plenty of color about just how bad things were under Square Enix's leadership. He left the studio before the sale went through, in large part because he could see that the writing was on the wall long ago. Quote, "It was a trajectory that could be predicted. I left because things were missing at head office. Pre-Square Enix, Eidos had a great tradition of development teams, but they don't have a superior knowledge of how to sell their games, and that was quite clear," end quote. He go on to talk about the fact that stuff like Hitman and Deus Ex should have sold a boatload more, but Square Enix have no idea how to properly market them. Quote, "I was losing hope that Square Enix Japan would bring great things to Eidos. I was losing confidence in my headquarters in London. In their annual fiscal reports, Japan always added one or two phrases saying, 'We were disappointed with certain games, they didn't reach our expectations.' And they did that strictly for certain games that were done outside of Japan," end quote. On that crazy low $300 million price tag, Dastus touches on those Square Enix acquisition rumors that have been doing the rounds for a while now. Quote, "If I read between the lines, Square Enix Japan was not as committed as we had initially hoped. And there are rumors, obviously, that with all of these activities of mergers and acquisitions, that Sony would really like to have Square Enix within their wheelhouse. I heard rumors that Sony said they're really interested in Square Enix Tokyo, but not the rest. So I think Matsuda-san put it like a garage sale," end quote. This is, of course, speculation on his part, but he was pretty close to the action, and if he's reporting he heard rumors, and if the actions of Square Enix line up with those rumors, it's not a huge stretch to think that they might be accurate. By the way, he actually does mention in this article that there were serious discussions about resurrecting Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. He says that they weren't as strong as Deus Ex or Thief. My heart hurts. It hurts real bad. If you're watching this show from Indonesia,
okay, Deus Ex
aren't all
maybe.
your websites banned now?
Thief?
This is pretty crazy, but this week, citizens
They already
of
did
Indonesia
Thief.
lost access to most
They
of the
did it
biggest
twice.
websites and web services on the internet, including Steam.
Hold on. They did Thief twice. And it didn't work. Like the reboot of Thief just did not work. And they're just not gonna do Soul Reaver? Soul Reaver is so nice. That's like one of the greatest games. It was so unexpected. And the mechanics of it, it was a Souls-like before Souls-like even existed. Grenades? What the fuck? I got a grenade. Okay, but Steam, Epic, and other websites are now banned in Indonesia. Why?
Steam. There was a new law passed which required websites to register with some government office, and if they didn't do it by a certain deadline, they'd be blocked. Websites such as Steam, Epic, PayPal, and a boatload of others didn't get their applications in on time, and as a result, access to all of them was suspended until such time as they get their paperwork in. It's papers, please, except instead of getting access to a country, it's getting access to all of the games you've ever purchased on Steam. By the way, Indonesians, you can sidestep this with a VPN, so Godspeed to you. Last week we talked about Ubisoft's very rough week with their 4 cancelled titles, 2 major titles delayed, and a number of warning bells ringing out about the upcoming Skull and Bones. This latest story came in after I'd published that video, and it's a reminder of the other major challenge that Ubisoft is facing, its cultural reckoning. For years now, Ubisoft leadership have been weathering claims of bullying, harassment, or worse, with employees and employee groups doing what they can to get Ubisoft management to...
Okay. Skull and Bones. Very disappointing. I saw Skull and Bones. I don't know if y'all saw it. Y'all should actually see it. It is very disappointing. I was not expecting to be that disappointed in Skull and Bones. So I was thinking of it looked like Black Flag, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and it is an Ubisoft game. It is an Ubisoft game, so they have the idea there. They know what they should do. They didn't do it. I need 2 more, right? I'm just gonna get these guys down here. What's up, boy? Wait. Oh, I can't move. What the fuck? That's fucking stupid. They can move, I can't? That's so dumb. Alright. They need to fix this water shit. The water shit is stupid. They can move freely in the water, but I can't. Alright, come on. Alright, where do I need to go now? I need to go over there. Alright. Let's go over there. But yeah. For people who don't know about Skull and Bones is it's a pirate game. Call it what it is. It's a pirate game where you can plunder other ships and you can go to islands, gather resources and shit. In theory, it sounds very nice, but everything is in a boat. So you literally like drive up. I say drive, but you roll up to an island on your like ship with all your crew in it and everything, right? And you gather while you're still in the ship. You don't actually get out of the ship and just do stuff. There's no expeditions. The only thing that's action is you fighting other ships, but you're not manning the cannons or anything like that. Think of it as like a it's not like a racing game, but it's not like a racing game, but imagine that, you know, if you're like driving, you just have the third person in the car. You don't know what's happening inside the car. That's how like Pirates and Bone is, or Skull and Bones is, which doesn't fit right with the title. It doesn't really fit right with the title. I think what they should do is make it to where you can be on land. Like you can be on land, but that's only on the hub world. I mean, who want to just you don't fight in the hub world. You just walk around. Why have that? Why have that in the first place? You're telling us that you can do it, but you don't want to do it. Does that make any sense? Skull or Bones? I thought it was going to be like Sea of Thieves, but very like more realistic. You have your own crew. You know, like honestly, I didn't know. Like, I wasn't too sure they're gonna make like actually NPC crews. Like, if they make NPC crews, that would have been a very like that would have been amazing. But like but it's not like that. I mean, it is like that, but you don't like really. It's bad. It's bad. I don't like the concept of it. A lot of people, I guess a lot of people do like it, but I personally do not like it just because I feel like I'm not a pirate. I feel like I'm a boat. That's what it is. I think that's the best way to explain it. I don't feel like a pirate, I feel like a boat. Think about that. You feel like an actual ship instead of feeling like a you feel like a ship instead of feeling like a pirate. But what makes a ship, right? You can shoot things. You can attack things. You can ram yourself into an island. You can anchor. Apparently in this game, as a ship, you can gather things as well. But like you have all these things. Go. Yeah, bitch. I dropped on you, bitch ass. I dropped on you, bitch ass. Let's go. Nappy sack, motherfuckers. Alright. Yeah, but it's kind of fucked. I don't know who would actually like play. I don't know any of my friends would actually play. Oh, actually, I know one person that would play. I think that virtual. I think he said he was hyped for it. But I'm not too hyped just because I like I said, I feel like a ship instead of a pirate.
To act. This was typified in an open letter from Ubisoft employee group A Better Ubisoft, who last year signed an open letter making demands to clean up the Paris-based publisher. The demands included sacking known offenders, a seat at the table when it came to high-level decision-making, a cross-industry framework for better workplace environments, and engagement with lower levels of staff and union representatives. So far, 0 of those demands have been met, and Ubisoft has paid at least one price for that. 25% of the people who signed that letter last year have since left Ubisoft. Now, that's a big number in any context, but it's an especially big number in the world of video games, where it is impossible to get staff right now, and companies are paying massive premiums to keep staff where they are. This sort of talent drain has an impact on the bottom line, both in terms of training costs, but also in losing experienced hands who know how to...
Oh, hold on quick. Oh, blow my nose. Oh, shit. Man. I think the parasocial shit is horrible. The only thing I hate is that they put it in games. Why would you put, like when Blizzard had their whole debacle, right? They started, when Blizzard had their whole debacle, they took pictures in like pictures already inside. Excuse me, goddamn. They took pictures already inside of World of Warcraft and censored them or replaced them with fruits. No one actually really cared about these pictures, right? But because they actually
they actually did the home process, then people started to care about it. Excuse me. Shit. It's just so fucking lame. Oh fuck. Weren't we supposed to? God damn it. We were, weren't we? God damn it. I forgot. Yeah, I'm guessing we're not gonna do it. I haven't heard anything from him, so it's whatever. Alright, so she's still playing Valorant now. Okay, but I think that's like one of the things that's like super buggy or super stupid is that like why change something inside the game that happened in the real world? Why? When you change something inside of a game, like oh, we gotta like, I'm talking about Blizzard and for right now, right? Pretty much went inside the already established game and changed all the women clothing into baskets of fruit, which is like more insulting than actually what they had on. It wasn't showing anything. It's just so fucking dumb. Because the problem is the company, not the game. That's it. Why change it? It kind of reminds me of a whole Square Enix. We were just talking about Square Enix. It reminds me of Square Enix, how they were blurring or they were censoring different like their comic or their mangas. They were censoring different things, and I think it's an AI doing that because it was just so weird. But they would censor like the cleavage on a woman. They censored the woman vagina, but like she's wearing clothing and it really doesn't show anything. It's just she's wearing jeans, not really showing anything, but they censored like where her vagina would be. And I'm like, why is this a thing? And you pay for it. You pay for it to actually get this manga and to come out censored. Why? That is the most absurd thing. And for them to say that, oh, hey, we did this because we find it inappropriate, right? No one found it inappropriate. You just tried to make something out of nothing. And because you make something out of nothing, you actually made something. If that makes sense. Oh God, it was so fucking dumb. I didn't understand any of it. Oh man, let's continue.
How to make games well. Would it have been any different had Ubisoft done a better job of responding to these issues? We'll never know for sure, but it's highly likely yes. Alright, let's do the block that Austin made me do. We're getting another Guild Wars game, probably. Alright, so this story is based on a job posting spotted by toptierlist.net. The posting says that ArenaNet are currently working on an unannounced multiplayer role-playing game for an established online fantasy IP. Does that mean Guild Wars? Probably yes. But does it mean Guild Wars 3? That's less clear. ArenaNet are still servicing Guild Wars 2, having just released an expansion earlier this year and are gearing up for a Steam release sometime soon-ish. They've also announced that they're working on a 4th expansion for the game, and that one has a long-ass horizon. If ArenaNet are working on the evolution of the Guild Wars franchise, it certainly isn't coming anytime soon. Interestingly, this title is being developed in Unreal Engine 5, the next-gen engine of choice, and it'd be kind of cool to see an MMO running in that, so let's hope it is Guild Wars 3, even though it would probably mean the end of Austin as my editor. He'll just stop turning up to work on launch day, and I'll only be able to reach him via Guild Wars in-game chat. By the way, if you are planning on ever getting into Guild Wars, be sure to check out Austin's YouTube channel. He makes really great stuff, so show him some love, link below the like button. Quick lightning round to finish off. You know that Nier Automata Easter egg that everyone was super psyched about because they thought it was an undiscovered secret from a 5-year-old game? Turns out it was just a cheeky mod. I know lots of people are bummed about this, but I reckon Yoko Taro would absolutely love it. He loves trolling people. This is very much his style. Evolve is back. Yes, you heard it. I'm not making this shit up.
Wait,
A few weeks ago, the peer-to-peer servers got turned on, and now people are playing Evolve. Nearly as many people as are playing games like Battlefield 2042 and Halo Infinite, which is a testament to how strong Evolve's comeback is, but also how crappy those two AAA games are doing right now. Disco Elysium developer Zaum are working on their next title, and apparently it's going to be sci-fi based.
Oh, this is
job
people.
posting asks for artists who love sci-fi and video games and who are capable of creating non-Earth environments. Disco Elysium in space?
Oh,
hell yeah,
shit,
man. Sign me up, please. And Riot continue work on their unfortunately titled Project L. It's a fighting game featuring League of Legends characters, and it's looking pretty awesome, to be honest. They just confirmed this week that it will be a free-to-play title, unsurprising given the pedigree of Riot. That's generally their style. But also Multiverses, which this week had an absolutely gangbusters launch, so much so that you have to wonder if any fighting game will go premium ever again. Except maybe Street Fighter. They can still get away with it. So what got announced or delayed this week? Well, you've heard of Game of the Year. Well, how about Goat of the Year? That's right, Goat Simulator 3 cometh. A sequel so champing at the bit to get out the gates that Goat Simulator 2 never even got the chance to exist. Well before Untitled Goose Game gave us the chance to be a jerk goose, Australia allowed us to knock shit off high places as a cat. Goat Simulator served up the thrilling fantasy of being a dick goat, running around town and making life miserable for innocent civilians just waiting to be ragdolled under your merciless hoof. Goat Simulator started out as a gag that became a low-key phenomenon, and the sequel, Goat Simulator 3, just got a release date November 17th, exclusive to the Epic Games Store for PC, as well as for Xbox Series and PS5 consoles. Just announced last week is Roller Drama from developer Open Lab Games. This is a visual novel sports management hybrid. We have to manage a roller derby team both on and off the track, controlling and managing them during matches, while gently steering their relationships as they grapple with friendship, heartbreak, and more. This one looks nice. It's a follow-up to the studio's previous game, Football Drama, which was doing similar things. Roller Drama doesn't have a release date, but it's definitely on its way to PC at some point. Released last year to solid reviews, Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo wasn't based on the classic horror flick as much as it was inspired by it. It was a PC exclusive, but it's now headed to PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch on September 27th. Speaking of exclusives, Solar Ash was previously exclusive to the Epic Games Store, but it just got a Steam store page. No word on release for this, except it is confirmed for sometime this year. This one comes from Heart Machine, makers of Hyper Light Drifter, and retains the same neon-drenched, dreamy aesthetic, but this time the action is in 3D, and it's all about that flow state gameplay. I sadly missed this one last year, so I plan to check this one out on my Steam Deck, since it feels like it'd be perfect for that. The survival genre is going from strength to strength right now, and there's no better example of that than Obsidian's Grounded. I played this one back when it first launched in early access, and I was like, okay, this rules. I'm not going to touch any more of this until it's finished. The long wait is nearly over, and this week Obsidian announced that Grounded will ship 1.0 on September 27th. A fantastic window, since there isn't a huge amount hitting at the back end of September, early October, so I'm certainly going to be dumping a bunch of hours into this one. Here's an interesting one. Sherlock Holmes The Awakened is getting a remaster. Now, I'm certainly aware of this narrative-led detective series from developer Frogware. I'm assuming there's a decent market for them, though, since Frogware keep making them. The Awakened remake promises to be a complete rebuild, both visually and narratively, with substantial portions of the game being rewritten to fit it within the broader body of Sherlock games. No release date for this one yet, but you get the feeling it isn't coming anytime before 2024. And finally, I was worried that I might have to give a different game Game of the Year this year, but thankfully Annapurna Interactive have come in clutch with all the excuse I need to justify a Game of the Year nod for the 4th year straight. That's right. Greatest video game ever made, Outer Wilds, is arriving on next-gen consoles on September 15th. Now, this is a very big deal because the PS4 and Xbox ports of this game kind of sucked. The frame rate was not good, and a lot of people really tried to get into this game but simply couldn't because of the performance. That barrier to entry will tumble on September 15th, allowing an entirely new crop of people to experience for themselves an experience that I genuinely believe is incomparable. There is nothing else like this, and when you're done with it, you're left with this black hole at the center of you, and you're desperate to fill it with games or books or movies that will give you the same high. You will never fill it, making the Outer Wilds ending both euphoric and melancholic at the same time. If you haven't played it yet, please don't look anything up. The less you know about it, the better. Just go out and buy it. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Finally, the only delay announcement for this week is kind of a bummer. Warhammer 40k Darktide has slipped from its planned September release and will now release on November 30th, but it gets worse. It was meant to ship for both PC and Xbox at the same time. Now the PC version will ship first, with the Xbox version to arrive at some point after that. No date yet. Developer Fat Shark took to Twitter to make the announcement, saying they needed, quote, more time to improve stability, performance, and to mature key systems, end quote. When I played the game back in June, I definitely encountered some bugs, so obviously more time was needed to iron all of those out, I guess. That's a bummer, since I was super pumped to jump into this in September. The consolation prize is that Fat Shark did announce some beta testing commencing soon-ish. You can sign up for those over on their website. So what came out last week? Well, there was some cool stuff, actually. Did you guys see how crazy Multiverses went? This thing launched last week, and just on Steam alone, it peaked at 150,000 concurrent players, which is an absolutely absurd figure for a fighting game, especially one that's an all-new IP. Yeah, it's built on existing characters, but the game itself is brand new, and to achieve those sorts of numbers is low-key crazy. Obviously, being free-to-play helps make that possible, so the question becomes, is this likely to go the distance?
Wait, it's free-to-play?
Week sizzle. If reviews are anything to go by, it's probably going to be the former. It currently sits at a very positive 90% on Steam with over 40.
No, it's not free-to-play.
So that's awesome. Critics too are impressed, putting it at a strong 80 on OpenCritic.
That'd be
IGN
stupid if it's
scored this one
free-to-play.
an 8 out of 10, saying, quote, Multiverses may not be a must-play at social gatherings, but its refreshing team-based battles make it a great platform fighter online, end quote. Press Start was similarly impressed, scoring it an 8 out of 10 and saying, quote, it combines a solid fighting system with an excellent starting roster of characters to offer a platforming fighter like no other. There are some kinks to be ironed out, but Multiverses is in a prime position to hit the ground running, end quote. I'm hearing rumblings about cool stuff happening at EVO for this one, so I very much expect this one to try and carve out a place on the tournament scene as well. Bear and Breakfast was one that I only discovered last week, but since then I've been hearing about it all over the intertubes. This is a cutesy hotel management game where you play as a bear and you're running a bed and breakfast. And it's got a gorgeous art style, and it's apparently really well written and funny, and it's just ticking boxes all over the place. Steam users are very happy. It's sitting at a very positive 89. Critics are also giving this one the nod, with it sitting at a strong 81 on OpenCritic. The Gamer scored it a 4 out of 5, saying, quote, Bear and Breakfast is an in-depth management sim that is all too easy to enjoy for hours on end. There's plenty of quirky humor alongside an unfolding story filled with mysterious undertones, gorgeous 2D graphics, and classic genre goodness, end quote. By the way, if you want to hear more about this one, we talked about it at length during the most recent episode of the Friends Per Second podcast, since both Lucy and Tam played a bunch of it and loved it. I'll leave a timestamp link to that below the link. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, the game I desperately tried to review, but Papa Nintendo said no. The good news, though, is that Xenoblade 3 rules, apparently. Reviews for this one hit last week and were universally positive, with all of them celebrating the game's massive, unique world, its excellent combat, and its strong cast of characters. Yes, the voice lines in combat are as spammy as ever, but would you want it any other way? I wouldn't. Critics are largely unbothered by these minor shortcomings, putting it at a mighty 88 on OpenCritic. Eurogamer deemed this one essential, saying, quote, Monolith Soft closes out its loosely connected trilogy of epic RPGs with its most adaptable, malleable, and high-spirited adventure yet, end quote. Game Informer were pretty much the only middle-of-the-road review I saw. They scored the game a 7.3, saying, quote, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is a double-edged sword that needs a bit more sharpening, end quote. Regardless, you are looking at a minimum of 100 hours to get through this one, with more meandering playthroughs tending towards the 150-hour mark. So if you're gonna do this, then you better clear your schedule for like the next month or whatever, because it's big. So what's coming out this week? Yo, nothing. Oh man, I don't think I can recall a week in the entire 18-month history of this show that is as bleak on the release front. The two indie titles releasing this week couldn't have planned it any better, as they aren't competing with any major offerings this week. The spotlight is entirely on them and them alone, so that's kind of nice. The first of the two titles is called South of the Circle, which launches on all platforms on the 3rd. This is from developer State of Play, and they describe it as, quote, an emotional narrative experience exploring the relationship between Peter and Clara, Cambridge academics caught up in the political conflict of the Cold War. The story focuses on the weight of life choices between career, true love, and the desire to keep our promises, end quote. I actually quite like
Oh
the
my
art style
God.
for this one. It's really got something going for it. I really don't know any more about it, but I wish the developers all the best. Hopefully it's great. One title I do know something about is Turbo Golf Racing, which launches on both PC and Xbox on the 4th. I actually played this one during the Steam Next Fest. I liked it, but I didn't love it. I didn't spend a huge amount of time with it, but I felt the physics model just wasn't grabbing me the same way that Rocket League immediately did. However, I was playing this one solo, and I suspect the best way to play it will be with a bunch of friends, so you can just fuck around and try to mess with
shit.
each other's balls.
Okay, cool.
Yep, I said it. Hey,
Wow.
put this on your radar. I know you've come to expect a certain type of game from this segment, usually a 2D action game with Souls-like elements. So today we're bucking the trend with Railbound. This is a puzzle game that's all about connecting carriages by manipulating track lines. It's simple, at least at first, but it does get more tricky as you get further into it. What remains constant is the chill factor. The soundtrack, the muted clicks of the tracks as you manipulate them. This whole thing is designed to chill you out, and I'm into that more and more these days. Games like Power Wash Simulator and Dorf Romantic have been such a vibe to play through after a big week, and I can totally see this one fitting into that same niche, supporting either Zen-like zone-outs or great fodder for times when you want something else running on a second monitor. Railbound is confirmed for both PC and mobile devices, actually. But if you want to check it out on Steam, you can find it on my Steam curator page, which also has links to all the other Put This On Your Radar titles I've profiled before. I'll leave a link to all of that below the like button. Sort of free stuff time now, and we're in the first week of a new month, so it's time to get that bread. By bread, I mean video games, I think? I'm not sure. Regardless, Epic are now giving away your next chore core fix in the form of Lawnmower Simulator. True story, this game is getting a physical release, and the Australian distributor for that has set up a stream where you can watch grass grow. Sadly, the grass is not in a hot tub, so I don't expect it to hit big numbers in this current stream meta. Regardless, I'll leave a link to that stream below. Go by, show it some love. They'd love that. On August 5th, there'll be a new game on offer from Epic, Unrailed. Man, we're really on a railway bent this week. First Put This On Your Radar, and now this. To be honest, I hadn't actually heard of this before, but having watched some gameplay, I'm like, hey, this looks super cool. It's a co-op game where you have to build the track as the train slowly advances, and it just looks really clever and fun. Steam reviews for this one are 93% very positive, by the way, so clearly there's something there. Grab it free from August 5th. So how about Twitch Prime? If you're an Amazon Prime or Twitch Prime subscriber, they are the same thing, by the way, you can now get your hands on a few sort of free titles, including Beasts of Maravilla Island, which is kind of like Pokemon Snap, but not. Recompile is a Metroidvania set inside the mainframe. Looks kind of cool, though. The big one, though, is Starcraft Remastered, the updated edition of Blizzard's seminal strategy masterpiece that pretty much birthed esports and all of those videos of Korean pros operating at like 3,000 APM. Very scary stuff. We covered off Game Pass last week, but what about them Games with Gold? It feels like this program is wrapping up, by the way, as it was only recently that Microsoft announced that soon Games with Gold will no longer include any Xbox 360 games, and they won't be adding any additional Xbox One games to compensate.
Oh, shit.
If this is to be among the last of the 360 offerings, then at least it's going down fighting, because this month you can get your hands on Saints Row 2, a timely offering no doubt intended to get people hyped for the upcoming reboot. The other 360 game is Monaco, which is a co-op heist game. Finally, for Xbox One, you get Scourge.
Let's talk about the reboot. The reboot of Saints Row. Pretty I didn't like it too much. I thought it was kind of bad. Like, to me, when I was like watching through the gameplay, it didn't seem all that interested in, I wasn't really invested in it. Like, here's the thing. Okay. Here's the thing. I watched the 15 minutes of gameplay, and it felt pretty cringed. Just being honest. It felt pretty cringe. It was weird looking at it. Yeah, like forced. It's scripted. Like, that's why I feel like the whole entire game is going to be. It's like going to be like force scripted. Like you play, you make your character and whatnot, and you're like doing some type of action, or your character's doing some type of action. Someone say something to you, and then you give a smirky remark towards them. That's why I feel like the game is. That's all what the game is offered for. I know that it is it's supposed to be a parody of Grand Theft Auto, and they're trying to make a remake out of it, but it's the same. There's no remake of the whole entire game. It's like no remake of the game. It just feels dumb. It just feels dull. Oh, you got pretty graphics, but that's... I mean, even the graphics, it's not even all that great. The customization is super cool. I have to admit it, but it's... Other than that, it doesn't look all that great. If I'm being perfectly honest. And honestly, what you should do instead is like play some different game. Play some different game that doesn't have all these. Yeah, just play some different game. Lately, I'm getting a little bit disappointed because lately these games are like just games nowadays is not what it was when I was a kid. And I feel old for saying that. I really do. But it's true. Games nowadays are not only expensive to make, but expensive to sell. Not only those two, but they don't have that much love in it anymore. What the fuck? Oh wow, how that hit me? Fuck off. This goddamn pig. It's not like what it was before. It's very sad. Very sad to see. Again, I really don't know the reason for it. That's why I kind of feel like with Apex Legends, I just realized now it's like it's not the game for me anymore. It used to be. I liked games like that, but it's just became a nuisance playing the game. I rather just, instead of spending like 20 hours in that game, I can spend 20 hours in another game, an old game for that matter, and I'll be better off. I'll finish that old game and I would be happy with it. It had a complete story. You don't have that in these games nowadays.
Bringer, which is an action roguelike platformer, as well as Calico, which is a game about rebuilding a rundown cat cafe. Man, people are really cat crazy this month, aren't they?
Yeah.
Sony Ponies, you're up. And can I just say, you guys are eating well this month. So PS Plus has 3 tiers now. The base tier you're probably already subscribed to gives you 3 sort of free games each month. The first is Little
I like he says
Nightmares
sort of.
for PS4. Immersive, atmospheric little adventure game. Fantastic if you're in the mood for that sort of thing. If you're up for something a little more freewheeling, then Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remasters are included for both PS4 and PS5. 2 of the few perfect video games. Tony Hawk 1 and 2 have only aged like fine wine since their release back in the day, and this glorious remaster unearths all of that goodness with aplomb. Rest in peace, Vicarious Visions. You will be missed as you are subsumed into the great Blizzard hive mind. Finally, Yakuza Like a Dragon is the first game in the new post-Kiryu story arc, and it too is coming to PS Plus subscribers for both PS4 and PS5. That's not all though, the entire Yakuza back catalog is arriving on PS Plus Extra, which is the second tier, either really soon or in the coming months. So if you have a spare 500 or so hours to get through the 7 games, then a PS Plus Extra subscription will be all you need. Our feel-good story for the week is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. So firstly, there's this band called The 900 who are a Tony Hawk cover band. They only play tracks from Tony Hawk games. Now I'm sorry, but that is fucking sick and I can't believe I'm only hearing about this now. Anyway, at a show last week, they had a surprise guest appearance. Can you guess who it was?
Tony Hawk.
We bring you Mr. Tony Hawk! What's up, London? How are you?
That's right, Superman himself rocked up to rock out with his deck out, and the crowd were absolutely loving it. Tony looked like he was having a good time as well.
Oh, did I make it? Wait, what the fuck?
Dude, I cannot imagine how fucking awesome it would be to have a giant Tony Hawk karaoke party featuring actual Tony Hawk. This feels like one of those Woodstock moments that these people will tell their grandkids about, and you love to see it. All right, nerds, that's a wrap for the show. Thanks again for stopping by. Do be sure to hit the like button if you had a good time. Subscribe, notification bell, dig in,
cool.
all that jazz.
I like that.
No reviews this week, but I'm working on 2 big ones for next week, so stay tuned for those. Have a fantastic week. See you next time. As I mentioned earlier, Squarespace have re-signed to the channel for another 12 months. Very appreciative of that support. That is amazing. Squarespace are helping me turn my passion into a career, and that's what they do for a lot of people, because if you want to turn your passion into a career, then a website is a really good place to start. Maybe you want to start writing. Squarespace lets you create a professional-looking blog in minutes so you can immediately begin publishing your work and sharing it around. Maybe you want to open an online store and start selling stuff you've made or you're importing. Squarespace lets you set up online storefronts with ease, and they look fantastic, super professional, and they're also backed by end-to-end e-commerce features so you can start taking and managing payments in no time. Maybe you want to create a community page for your Halo clan or your local chess club. Squarespace can handle that too, as it's got an event scheduler that allows you to organize and invite people to stuff you want to do. Squarespace does it all. It's a one-stop shop for that next thing you want to do with your hobby, your career, or just because you feel like it. To get started, visit squarespace.com, and if you want to get serious, visit squarespace.com/skillup to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain name. Thanks Squarespace for sponsoring the video, and thank you for watching it.
Okay. Okay, what else is new? Let's go with this one.
Welcome guys. Today I am going to show you the top 5 new MMO games of 2022. Those of you interested in MMO or MMORPG releases will find plenty to get anticipated about this.
Alright, I'm not gonna watch somebody or watch it. We're not gonna do that. Let's look at this.
Every month, GameRanks tries to put together a list of games you should be paying attention to. August is no different. Hi, folks, it's Falcon, and today on GameRanks, the games you gotta pay attention to in this upcoming month, August of 2022. Starting off with number 10, it's Way of the Hunter, an extremely beautiful hunting simulator. The game is oriented towards realism, and it really does create some beautiful environments and depicts animals in a really realistic and interesting way. It's really cool. Like, you get a really, really big open world environment where you're sort of tracking prey, attempting to find animals that you're attempting to hunt. You also get co-op, which is pretty nice. If you're somebody who enjoys hunting and know some other people who enjoy hunting, and well, you're not really in a position to do some real hunting, get your buddies together and play this. I'm not going to say I have direct experience with the game, but it's certainly like intriguing to me. I'm not big in hunting, but I like the idea of being able to kind of do it without, actually killing anything. Plus, you get a cool looking car and traverse this. I really have to underscore how pretty the environments in this game are. It's enough to get me interested in something that I probably wouldn't normally be interested in, and that's saying a lot. Way of the Hunter's coming to PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC on August 16th. And number 9 is Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered, a game you've seen on PlayStation, but boy, oh boy, it's coming to PC. This is something I am very excited for, because yes, it is nice to play the game on PlayStation, but wow, will it be nice to play it on PC, where I can really throw everything I've got at it in terms of graphics. On the PC, we are going to be seeing ray traced reflection. We'll be seeing the DLSS, the DLAA, the stuff that just makes incredibly good looking games work very well. This version of Spider-Man is also going to support ultra-wide monitors. Not really my cup of tea. I kind of like 16:9, but I know there's a lot of people out there that like it. If you look at some of the screenshots and footage of this game on PC, it is stunning. I mean, this is a game that has been a looker on consoles, and frankly, I think we're really just going to see a gorgeous port that now people are going to be able to mod and do whatever the hell they want.
Oh, that's actually
Spider-Man Remastered coming to PC on August 12th. At number 8 is 2 Point Campus, coming to us from the same folks that did 2 Point Hospital, developers by the name of 2 Point Studios. Published by Sega. I don't know if you're familiar with 2 Point Hospital. It's kind of like a return to really old school theme park type games. Like, there's a lot of these right now, but 2 Point Campus is probably one of the better ones to look at, because it looks like they've really done a lot in terms of ramping up the absurd stuff. And that's really, like, one of the bigger reasons to play these types of games. They're more or less city builders, except for they're limited to one specific thing, a theme park, a hospital, or in the campus.
How is that not hitting you?
You're able to build a truly absurd, ridiculous campus. Frankly, some of what I've seen looks like Hogwarts, but like, it's not magic oriented. It's literally just an absurdist management sim that I think, if I'm honest, I'm of course going to play. This is the type of game I really enjoy, and 2 Point Hospital was really good. 2 Point Campus is coming to the PlayStations, the Xboxes, Nintendo Switch, and PC on August 9th. At number 7 is Sword and Fairy Together Forever, also known as The Legend of Sword and Fairy 7. It's actually a game that came out on mobile in China and was so popular they decided to port it over to the PlayStations as well as PC. And wow, is it a pretty game. It's an action-adventure RPG, and the fact they brought it over here actually works pretty well on account. It's actually the 9th game in The Legend of Sword and Fairy.
Wait, really?
The series has been going on for apparently quite a while in China. Like, the original game was actually released in 1995 on MS-DOS, but this one is actually set many years after the events of the rest of the series. So it's kind of functioning as a reboot for Chinese gamers and as a first game in the series over here. Again, it's called Sword and Fairy Together Forever. Certainly doesn't scream sequel in any way. It's, like I said, got these crazy good looking environments, and the game has been lauded for having a very good story. We don't really get a lot of Chinese RPGs over here, and it really looks like a high-quality one, so I'm really interested to see exactly how it comes together. I will be playing it. It's landing on the PlayStations on August 4th. And number 6 is Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed, the second of the remakes of Destroy All Humans. This is a series that I relish. I enjoy. Getting another one of these makes me very happy. I loved the first remake because I loved the first game, and they left the first game intact. Just gave us much better graphics. What is there to complain about? We're likely getting the same thing here. It's Destroy All Humans 2. It takes place in the 60s. It's more absurd. It's got all the great telekinesis mechanics and all that same stuff. Lots of new levels. Pure chaos all over Earth. What is there not to like? What's interesting is that Destroy All Humans, for all intents and purposes, is a pretty unique game.
This is probably something up here,
when
right?
they hit with the first one, people wanted more, and they obliged. Thankfully, they're remastering all of them. My hope, of course, is that we see new Destroy All Humans games in the future. We shall see. These remakes, however, the Reprobed series, have been going very well. Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed is coming out on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X August 30th. At number 5 is Midnight Fight Express, an isometric brawler. Now, for all intents and purposes, what this game looks like to me very much takes a lot of inspiration from older Streets of Rage style games, as well as twin stick shooters. And if you want my opinion, that is a good couple of things to combine. It's got a great look to it, good aesthetic.
How do you get a chip
looks like
all the
the
way in
fighting
here
is fun.
like this?
What's
What the
interesting,
fuck?
it's the story of somebody who got out of the criminal underworld and was lured back into it with the intent of preventing a citywide criminal takeover. There's 41 levels. They're not randomly generated. They're handcrafted. Music comes from this artist called Noise Scream. I'm not really familiar with them, but the music in the trailer's great. If I'm honest, if it plays out how it looks, this is going to be a really solid game and something that takes up a lot of my time. It scratches an itch that I definitely do have. Midnight Fight Express comes to PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Switch August 23rd. At number 4 is Cult of the Lamb. Interestingly enough, is a cult building game. You are a possessed lamb who was saved from certain death by a shadowy figure, let's say, and you basically have to build a cult. You actually have to compete against other cults too. This is regarded as a game taking place in a land of false prophets. It is a very interesting looking title in terms of its graphics. In some ways, it kind of reminds me of a faster paced Legend of Zelda Link to the Past, but with the cult building elements. I don't know. I really enjoy the graphics though, the sort of cut out paper look. It really works. And Cult of the Lamb looks like a unique game. That's landing on PS5, Xbox Series X, Switch, and PC August 11th. And number 3 is Soul Hackers 2, coming to us from Atlas.
Really?
As we all know, very good
That's so dumb.
RPG making people. It's the sequel to a very, very old game. Devil Summoner Soul Hackers came out back in 1997 on the Sega Saturn, which, by the way, can we talk about how great the Saturn was? It was a terrible console filled with amazing games, and it flopped so hard, and it did not get the appreciation it deserved. Soul Hackers 2 obviously continues the Devil Summoner series, which this is actually the 5th installment of. Devil Summoners also part of the Shin Megami Tensei
Fuck, man.
franchise.
I'm still not,
so
like,
it is
level 58.
tangentially related to Persona, and it shows. It's a Atlas RPG. Like, that's what I want. I very much want an Atlas RPG. I'm pretty much on board automatically. Soul Hackers 2 is coming to the PlayStations, the Xboxes, and PC on August 26th. And number 2 is Timesia, which is somewhere between what I want to call the arcade Soulsborne. It's not quite Devil May Cry or Bayonetta, but it's not quite as slow and heavy as a Souls-like. You could probably call it a hack and slash, but it's so obviously oriented towards the Soulsborne formula as well. Timesia is one that has a different look to it and a couple of interesting features, including the way that it does its health bar. When you attack, you initially take down a white health bar, which reveals a green health bar. The white health bar can regenerate to the top point that the green is. Certain attacks affect the white more than the green. Certain attacks affect the green more than white. So there's a level of strategy here. I'm pretty interested in if it works. It sounds a little complicated, but it also intrigues me. So it's one of those games I think is good to look out for because I do see a lot of potential in it. Timesia's coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. And finally, at number 1, the big Saints Row Reboot that seems to be blending a lot from all of the various games and putting together a new world, a new type of target for satire, and from what I have heard thus far, actually really good action. Great. Now, obviously, it takes a lot from Grand Theft Auto. That's what Saints Row is, but it seems like there's also a lot more here. Everything I've seen in previews, I've thought looks delightful. Looks just like really enjoyable nonsense. Pure chaos, too. That's exactly what I want out of Saints Row, and for all intents and purposes, I'm pretty excited. It looks like it gets what makes Saints Row good, and maybe understands it a little bit better than any one Saints Row game. If that ends up playing out, this is definitely going to be a new series of Saints Row games, because I don't see how, if they've figured out a new special sauce, it's not going to play out that way. Saints Row is coming to the PlayStations, the Xboxes, and PC on August 23rd. Got a bonus game for you too. Pacman World Repack, a complete remake of Pacman World. Pacman World came out on the original PlayStation, and wow, it was one of those games that came out in 1999, and it was kind of like a really good example of a platformer, actually. Like, if you remember, that was kind of a really good time for platformers, is the time immediately after both Crash Bandicoot and Mario 64. It's around the same time that Sonic Adventure came out, which was, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and say flawed, but a really good example of taking a franchise into 3D. Pacman World was a game that is really nothing like Pac-Man. I mean, there's certain parts of it that really call to mind the old Pac-Man games, but for the most part, it's a pretty straightforward platformer with a completely different move set, really creative levels, and they've redone it completely. They've got new graphics, they've overhauled all the levels. I don't know to what extent they've made the gameplay a little tighter, because like I said, it actually was a pretty good platformer, but I have a feeling they've modernized it a little bit. It's one of those games I kind of just want to play again, and seeing it with much better graphics makes it a very high priority platformer for me, actually. And I'll be definitely checking that out when it lands on the PlayStations, the Xboxes, and on Switch August 26th. That's all for today. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription, so click subscribe. Don't forget to enable all notifications. And as always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter, Falcon the Hero.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is about to wrap up now. Just want to like kind of decrease my inventory a bit. Like decrease the weight in my inventory just a bit. Apparently I had a mission with that. Don't know what it was. Go back up here. Of course, leather, of course. Rugged. And you have layered. Just go ahead and make these for the experience. Really can't make anything in here for the experience. I can make this now. What the fuck is... Oh, from expeditions, I see. I get it, I get it, I get it, I get it. Go up here. This. Oh shit. I need more stone. Fuck. We could just go ahead and buy the stone. Wait, what? Oh. Wait, what? That's weird. I can possibly level up today. Alright, cool. Enough of that to buy is this much better? That is much better. What the fuck? Yeah, no. From a workshop? The workshop was all the way down here, right? Oh man. I ate dinner, right? My dinner was like a tomato soup and grilled cheese, which reminds me I need to put that up. Oh, like, oh my god, it's like, it wasn't really fulfilling. I'm trying to, like, keep up with my weight and stuff, and man, it's difficult. Try to get healthy, eat healthier. It is difficult. And oh, don't get me started with like facial as well. Like, I'm trying to like keep up with my face and stuff too. And oh man, it's been bugging. It's been bugging me lately. Wait, what? What do I need? Oh. Fuck. Need linen. Oh, this give me 17. Fuck. Bonuses. How many do I have now? Do I have 40? I have 62. Great. Nice. Level fucking 58. Let's fucking go. How am I? Oh. God, man, it's been tough. Just 2 more levels to 6. Oh my God, man. Like the grind in this game is so long. There's nothing is together. Okay. Alright. Well, that's